Okay, so what I'm looking at, I believe this is about a 1/4 inch, and then in between the threads, it's about a 1/4 inch. So I may go one size down from 1/4 inch, put in a hole, and then see how the hanger bolt goes in. Although I'm using ash here, it's pretty hard. I may just go the 1/4 inch, and so I'm going to compare how that looks with the bolt. So you can just hold it up and then see how much room it feels like there is. So I'm thinking 1/4 inch is probably the way to go. Okay, so to put this lag bolt and have it where it's just starting, I ended up at a 9/32 to put in a 5/16 hanger bolt in ash, which is a pretty hard wood. The other way to do this is to drill it all the way out and then just dump it in there with some epoxy in the threads and inside of here. I'm going to try to gently twist this in. I have an acorn bolt, and so it's or a cap nut. So you put this on here, you turn it down, and at a certain point, it just can't go any farther. So I'm going to put a socket wrench or whatever I've got, and I'm going to go slowly, maybe just a hand wrench, and twist it in and see how it does. Here's a flipping idiot exclusive for you. When I go into super hard things, I like to take out my thread cutters and just make some room on the sides. Even if it's not the same thread, so this is going to be a machine thread, some kind of machine thread cutter. I find that it helps to have some grooves going the right way. Tap out all the debris. And then, okay, well, here goes nothing. I'm going to take my trusty wax block. I'm trying to wax up the threads. Maybe I'll sprinkle some sprinkles in here. And then I'm going to take my trusty socket wrench, put it on the cap nut. And flip it so it's tightening. All right. Oops. I could probably use a little deeper socket. That's what I had. Oops. I was just thinking if the leg splits, I can just pull the bolt out and just glue it back together, and nobody would know. I'm going to back this out and then put in this sanding sponge for a little traction. So, fingers crossed. There's some resistance, but not a ton of pushback. I'm not actually sure how long the flip it the other way to get the nut off. I'm not sure how long the receivers are on the dresser, but I think the straps on the bottom of my Legless MCM dresser, my Legless MCM dresser video is at least 3/4 inches there. So I'm hoping there's clearance for like that last 1/4 inch. So, all right. Cap nut might have done a little bit of a number on the top here, but I can actually, not everybody has a thread cutting kit, I guess. But if I need to, I think I can clean up the threads with this. Otherwise, like I said, if you don't have a thread cutting kit, in case you make this mistake, and the other thing you should do is this is a 5/16 cap nut or acorn nut. This is a 5/16 hanger bolt, but it's just machine threaded. If you put on a bolt, I saw this on YouTube, if you put on a bolt before you start cranking this in, so you could use it for kind of a, for depth setting. So when you get to that bolt, you know you're done twisting. But what you can do is if you unscrew the bolt, if you remove the bolt, what it's going to do is it's actually going to fix these threads if they get a little damaged from the cap nut. So I'll do that on the next one. I'm just going to get this out of the way and do the drilling with the other ones while I got it. While I've got everything set. Just in case you're wondering what happened to the threads, I've got my thread cutter. I didn't actually need to cut it. It just screwed right on. So that part is fine. All set. I think what it did was it mashed it, but it tapered it, so it looks a little worse than what it is. But there's a table leg or a dresser leg. Okay, so if you kind of make the hole too big or overcut it, it's a pretty simple fix. You get some super glue, and if the leg bolt's coming out with the cap nut because it jams, I'm going to find better cap nuts in the future that aren't quite so tall. But if you do have that problem, just put some super glue in there, some epoxy, run it to where you want it, and it will just kind of stick this in there, and then you'll be able to wrench that cap nut off. So I did kind of an unusual problem, but if you do a bunch of chair legs or you're just kind of starting out, there's a better chance you'll run into that.